Hi guys. So I've got a little project that I'm going to work on, but I'm not going to take you on that journey yet. I've got somebody gave me a whole bunch of carrots, so it's way more than I can eat in any one setting. So I'm going to get this thing out here and read it and use it. Like I don't know how to do this, so I've got a book here and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to read it and learn how to do it. So I think it's time for everybody maybe to kind of get into this kind of stuff. But that's not really why I want to talk to you today. But I did have some thoughts, two different thoughts today, and they're kind of obscure, but let me take you on a little journey. Today we went to the store and we buy our lunch for the week. My husband, he packs his lunch and takes it. And in the last couple years, it used to be around $65 to $70, like a lot. That was like $70 was a lot of money back then. And here we are in March of 2023, and the everyday weekday price now is, you know, over $120. Like, a lot of money, like almost double what we were doing. And so it just brought a thought to my mind that everybody that's feeling this pinch on money, with their grocery prices and the gasoline prices and everything going up, we saw what they did back in 1933 when they took all the gold, right? We know that the gold and the silver was all taken, and then they were given the paper instead. So they were like an exchange happened. You could trade in your gold and your silver, and then you got this paper back called a greenback or something. I don't know what it was, but anyway, it was like money, in exchange, like a receipt for the gold and silver. And I wonder if, and it's just another thought. See, I've been having a lot of questions, so I'm going to pose them to you and let you all get to thinking about it. I wonder if, with all this banking crisis and they say everything's collapsing, and I was out having breakfast this morning at the restaurant, and that's all that the FOX, the 666, kept talking about. This big banner on the bottom of the screen was banking crisis. So what if everybody feeling this severe economic impact, paying double their grocery bill than they were, a year and a half or 2 years ago? I wonder if they ever present us with a digital, like something digital, will they offer an exchange? You turn in your paper, your reserved notes, for double the digital. And how many people will do that? I just wonder if we're going to relive the 1933 here in 2023. I mean, I don't know. How much of incentive would that be for people to exchange 2 for 1 or whatever whatever that rate would be, and then to come off of the paper system onto the digital. So anyway, just a curious thought. And another thing that I had, and you all can chew on this and ponder this, back to this pressure canning thing. How many generations does it take to forget something? Like how to do something? Like, I was never raised to know how to do canning. Even though my mom and dad were older folks when they had me. My dad was 50 years old. But I never learned any of this. I mean, they died when I was young anyway, but what I'm saying is, how many generations does it take to go from self-sufficiency to to being dependent on the system. Because I don't know how to, like practically use this book. I mean, I can read the book and understand it, but to go, I mean, I look around at people in my community and nobody knows how to do anything. And it's just sad because it's one generation, it seems like. Like my parents who were older, I see some of these folks in the neighborhood, they're in their 70s and 80s, and they probably knew how to do all this. Like they probably really butchered their chickens and their hogs right out in their backyard. But they didn't teach their children because everybody had it good back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. So now, my generation, I just turned 50 years old, and I don't know how to do this. Like I was never raised doing this. So it would have been my children, me, my generation, and my children's generation, and my grandchildren now, in 2010s to 20s. So it just seems like how sophisticated that is and how subtle that is for us to forget how to do things, how to forget how to be self-sufficient versus how to be dependent on the system. And a lot of people are dependent on the system. Like they don't know how to do anything except go down to the welfare office and sign their name and give them their social security number and then expect a check back or food stamps or something or some kind of medical thing. Like we don't know how to take care of ourselves anymore, which now circles back to this financial thing that's going to come here pretty soon, probably. Like everybody's in dire straits because we're dependent on the beast. And we don't know how to be dependent on ourselves, nor do we know how to depend on each other because nobody else is interested in the same things. Like I can't get anybody to help me with this. Like there's nobody to help me understand this book that can come to my house and say, oh yeah, you put that ring on there. And I mean, there's all kind of pictures and stuff. I mean, I could follow it. But, I don't want to blow my house up either. But anyway, like there's just fewer and fewer people that know how to do anything. And well, anyway, so I don't want to complain. But I'm just posit those two questions to you. How much will we see that? Like a 2-for-1 digital or fiat to digital exchange, and how many generations does it take to forget how to do things? So, well, you all have a blessed day in Jesus' name.